Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Universal Transcendent. My talent is multiplied by 1,000 times. Chapter 71. On the street, the traffic never stops. Inside a limited edition extended steam car produced by Zealand Steam Car Company. Wearing a Tool Lady's slanted hat and a tube-top white dress, a woman is watching steam daily. In the entire car, everyone was silent, even holding their breath. After all, this is the daughter of the goddess of desire. This time, a small part of the mother goddess body was intercepted by the official forces in the Holy Totem King City. After they arrived here, the great plans of the mother goddess had to be delayed for a while. No one dared to provoke the wrath of the daughter of the great mother goddess of desire at this time. Wait until the woman finishes watching. Only then did the maid on the side dare to speak. Miss Claire, shall we proceed with our plan? Claire didn't answer. It was a long time before he spoke slowly. Is it all because of that transcendent named Zhou Yu? Yes, sitting in the co-pilot, a middle-aged man said in a calm tone. Then I need to meet this Zhou Yu. Can it be arranged? I'm afraid, it's a bit out of date at this point in time, said the man. But, at this point in time, it may be the most suitable time. Right, a smile appeared on the woman's face, which blended with her delicate face, like a beautiful, 23, picture scroll. Well, I'll try to arrange it. The spacious, clean and tidy living room. Zhou Yu is sitting here. Even if it is the living room, everything here is taken care of. It reminds me of the last meeting with Minister Tina on the airship. Probably, Minister Tina has a clean freak. In other words, there are extremely high requirements for the living environment. Self-disciplined women are often scary. With this in mind, Zhou Yu felt a little unconfident about some of the speeches he had prepared before. Just when Zhou Yu was wondering if he should do something outrageous. Da da da. The sound of high heels hitting the wooden floor sounded rhythmically. Wearing a harmonious black skirt, the tall and proud Minister Tina came from outside the door. She looks like a strong woman in the workplace, and her fierce and sassy temperament on the battlefield is completely gone. Sit down in front of Zhou Yu. See Minister Tina's meticulous look. Zhou Yu couldn't help but sit up straight. Are you ready for your explanation? Minister Tina looked aggressive. Explanation? What explanation? I have made such a big contribution. Need an explanation. Although Zhou Yu really wanted to say that. But thinking of the boring prison cell, Zhou Yu changed his rhetoric. It's really not my fault. It was those evil God believers who made the first move. Minister Tina directly interrupted Zhou Yu's subsequent remarks. Mine are none of these. It's these. As she spoke, she threw a thick stack of folders in front of Zhou Yu. During the past half a month, look at what you have done yourself. In the past half month, you have been reimbursed 32 times for drinking in the bar. Went to the casino 14 times, fully reimbursed. KTV, sauna, various restaurants, and various items in the hotel are fully reimbursed. There were more than 5 times where you even drank at the bar all night. There are 3 more hotel openings. Speaking of this, Minister Tina's angry look. Zhou Yu was afraid that she would jump over and tear herself alive. The wine worth more than 300 Transcendent coins can kill you. One thing to say, the wine worth more than 300 Transcendent coins really can't support me. Zhou Yu muttered inwardly. Don't think that I don't know about the things in the bar. You still have the face to reimburse you for the project of calling the bar girl. The whole department can't find such a shameless existence like you. And your captain is also very cooperative with you, one dares to report and the other dares to reimburse. Are you using the Cthulhu Management Office as your cash machine? Zhou Yu raised his hand to interrupt Minister Tina's elaboration. Minister Tina, in the bar, I did order a hostess. But do I seem to be short of women? You can ask the captain if I have asked for real dream break from him. Besides, I told the captain secretly in advance. I said that I did this because of Minister Tina's instructions. You can go to the captain to check this point. And all of this, it's just a fishing method for me to become a bait. My life frankness, defense frankness, and soul frankness are all relatively strong. Those members of the evil god organization can't be found by just using normal means, otherwise, they would have been killed long ago. I can only use this method. Zhou Yu spread his hands helplessly. If, like everyone else, I really work step by step. What's the point of that? Minister Tina just looked at Zhou Yu like this. Zhou Yu was a little apprehensive at the sight of him. Although your means are somewhat unreasonable, but this time, after all, it was a beautiful job. Accompanied by these words, the aggressive gaze and aggressive tone disappeared instantly. Instead, there was a faint smile on his face and words of gratifying praise. The speed at which this woman changes her face is really fast. If I don't award you an Oscar statuette, I'll praise you for the speed at which you change your face. Those who do big things don't care about small things. If everyone else spends their days and drinks like you, they can solve the evil god's affairs. Minister Tina said slowly. They are soaked in wine barrels every day, and I am happy to see them. It's a pity that most people are just soaking in the rice bucket. What are your plans for the future? Minister Tina looked at Zhou Yu while speaking. Enhance strength. Zhou Yu said it very simply. In this wave, Zhou Yu is relying on his newcomer identity, a member of the hard evil god. Even if it is successful, there is also an element of luck. But such a thing can only be done once. Then the next two evil god organizations. Raven Blood Spirit, formed by the Master of Evil Spirits, and the gathering place of war fanatics, Ancient War Church. They are not easy to deal with, and they cannot be found and eradicated in a short while. To be honest, the Mother Tree of Desire organization this time even eradicated 3 important core strongholds. But those members scattered in the Saint Totem King City have not been completely eradicated. This will be a protracted war. In future wars. As far as Zhou Yu's current strength is concerned, it's still a bit short. It is impossible to single out an entire evil god branch with one's own strength. In Zhou Yu's view, this is all a manifestation of his lack of strength. This wave, whether it is in the steam parts of Elena, the energy that is supported and stored by the Mother Tree of Desire. In other words, Zhou Yu is ready to digest these steam parts and let the own sequence go one step further. Or in other words, the next wave of Transcendent talent promotion, and the acquisition of Transcendent talent. It takes a while to digest. Wait until these powers are almost digested. So, Zhou Yu will truly have the strength to fight against an entire branch of the evil god. Minister Tina also thought about it seriously. Your level is indeed a bit low now. You are only in your 30s, and you should be almost at level 40. Well, it's already 38th level. After a while, you can advance to 40 level. Very good. Upon hearing Zhou Yu's answer, Minister Tina nodded in satisfaction. He couldn't be more satisfied with Zhou Yu's level promotion. If it wasn't for your low level, I would even have thought of promoting you as my deputy for the achievements you made this time. Because of your level, you will continue to serve as the vice captain of team number 66 for a period of time to come. The main goal is to improve strength. At the same time, this time your contribution is huge. The rewards that should be given will naturally not miss you. Tell me, what do you want? Minister Tina said confidently. As the top master of the official organization force, there are naturally many resources in hand. And this time, it has made such a huge contribution. The city lord even talked to her for a long time. They even named Zhou Yu as the focus. Obviously, the city lord of the Saint Totem King City also liked Zhou Yu very much. Especially seeing Zhou Yu's eclectic behavior during this time. It made him even more praised. Do you have an attack speed talent scroll? I want one. If possible, I would like to have preliminary contact with the sealed artifact. Zhou Yu's words made Tina think a little. There are offensive talent scrolls, but the quality may not be very high, and you may not like them. I'm not a picky eater. Zhou Yu said, not minding at all. As long as you have it, I am a genius. Any ordinary talent can exert amazing effects in my hands. Minister Tina frowned slightly. Compared to other geniuses, to be honest, Zhou Yu doesn't have the airs of a genius at all. Also, this guy seems to care about own talent. You must know that those geniuses who really have advanced talents usually don't care about the transcendent talent scrolls that are lower than their talent list. Perhaps, that's why he's different from others. Tina couldn't figure it out, so she could only explain it this way. Attack speed talent, I can at least find you A level, and even AA level is possible. However, things like sealed items are more troublesome. I'm afraid you won't be able to grasp it, but I will still help you apply. Even if it is a sealed item of safety level, the degree of danger is extremely high. Before mastering this sealed item, You need to undergo professional training, understand? Clear. Zhou Yu nodded carefully. Okay, then come with me. Having said that, Minister Tina got up. Where are you going? Zhou Yu was a little puzzled. First, you need to take out the mother tree of desire you suppressed and put it in the sealed area. Second, you need to conduct a comprehensive inspection to prevent you from being contaminated by the evil god. These are normal procedures, and all members who participate in the battle against the evil god will do the same inspection. After all, sometimes transcendents are polluted by evil gods, and they may not even know it. Unknowingly and subtly, they became believers of evil gods. Prior to this, there have been many similar incidents. Yeah, Zhou Yu nodded. It's really easy. Back to members of Exorcist Squad 66. Zhou Yu eased his body and couldn't help but sigh with emotion. After completing some inspections, and under the care of the two Transcendent Masters, he took out the roots of the Mother Tree of Desire and threw them into the sealed place. Zhou Yu felt unprecedented ease. The roots of the Mother Tree of Desire are tentacles, very anxious. Even with the suppression of the entire steam space, as well as the suppression of Zhou Yu's steam spirit body the size of a steam car, the roots of the Mother Tree of Desire still have a tendency to break free from time to time. Zhou Yu could only do his best to suppress it. Zhou Yu used most of his strength to suppress the Mother Tree of Desire. It is difficult to find time to practice. And today, the roots and tentacles of the Mother Tree of Desire were sent out. Zhou Yu finally relaxed. Need coffee. At this time, a voice of inquiry came from behind Zhou Yu. Zhou Yu turned his head away. The one who catches the eye is Bai Na Rhine, who is about 1.6 meters tall and looks a little cute in a yellow dress. People in the office usually call her Bebe. The cheerful Bebe is the happy fruit in the office. Position: typing collector. She is passionate and helps others. Before, Zhou Yu is a transparent person in the office. Everyone doesn't like to see Zhou Yu very much. And after the Desire Mother Tree incident, through the captain's narration, everyone knows that Zhou Yu has made great contributions to all this. Even the captain told everyone. Zhou Yu's previous actions were specially arranged by Minister Tina. For a moment, 05 Zhou Yu has changed from a little transparent to the prettiest kid in the office. So much so that, in the past 2 days, when Bebe was making coffee, she would specially reserve a cup for Zhou Yu. Thank you. A lot of sugar was added, at least 3 teaspoons. Drinking coffee, just when I was about to take a nap and sleep for a while, and practice some time. Captain Coward came to Zhou Yu's desk. You left too fast just now, and I couldn't find you. The minister asked me to give this to you. As he spoke, the captain directly placed a scroll of transcendent talent on Zhou Yu's desk. Is this a talent scroll of attack speed? Zhou Yu put the talent scroll into the transcendent bracelet. In addition, while thinking about it, Coward recounted. In the past 2 days, there are a lot of things to do, and the identities of many members of the Evil God organization have been exposed. They're going to do some damage, or do some action. You and Lan Feng form a team to conduct night inspections on Randy Long Street where we are stationed, as well as the residential areas in the next 2 blocks. Team up with Lan Feng. Are you not afraid that I will secretly find a reason to make up for him? Zhou Yu thought maliciously in his heart. And Lan Feng, that guy, was obviously in a good mood. Don't worry, Captain, I will keep an eye on him. Lan Feng stood up and said obligatorily. See, Zhou Yu didn't object. Coward nodded. It is so decided. Although these 2 people are not very good at dealing with each other. But at least the tacit understanding between 2 people is still good. In addition, looking at Zhou Yu, Coward thought about it. Your matter, even if the minister has ordered it before, don't pass it on to your family. But, a lot of people already know that. Even some of your previous information has been dug out. The A-level genius of the Keen City-State is valued by Minister Tina. This time, he took the lead in digging the base of the Cthulhu Tree of Desires organization. The City Lord praises you a lot. Like a rising star. Just before, there were 12 team captains and 3 senior deacons. They're trying to transfer you from me. In other words, you are now different from before, and you have been seen by many people. So, those previous disguises, don't do it again. It's easy to be caught. Although I know you are not afraid, there will be some troubles in the end. Captain, I know. Zhou Yu stood up and nodded. Honestly, don't waste your time fishing. Zhou Yu really wished he had more time to practice. But for those members of the evil god organization, it doesn't mean that you can kill them alive by practicing. After all, it still takes time to crush their dog heads with an iron fist, and the regiment can destroy them. And this time, worked in Zhou Yu. With a lot of people staring at him, Zhou Yu can continue to cultivate and improve his strength with peace of mind. There is one other thing that I need to remind you in particular. Captain Coward said slowly. That is, beware of the revenge of the evil god organization. Because of you, the mother tree of desire in the Saint Totem King City was uprooted. At the same time, the roots and tentacles of the 3 mother trees of desire are eliminated, which will directly fill up the hatred of those fanatical believers towards you. Revenge on me. Zhou Yu's eyes narrowed slightly. Instead, I look forward to someone being able to give me the head. I will never refuse such things as making military exploits. Understood, Captain. I will be extra careful. Well, just be clear in your heart. When everyone has entered the state of own work. Zhou Yu quietly took out the scroll that the captain brought to own Transcendent just now. With one tap, the light comes on. Open black lens bracket Transcendent talent close black lens bracket. Attack speed hyphenation 0.0 time lag. Quality. Grade A. Attack speed. Plus 80%. Description. You can have a faster attack speed, and you can advance the attack form to a 0 time lag attack form, and cancel the back shake. Transcendent attack form. Zhou Yu laughed. This is one of the god-level talents of the remote unit. Transcendent talent attack speed 0 time lag features are very peculiar and very strange. 1. It can speed up the attack speed. This effect will be very prominent, that is, the attack speed has been accelerated. The number of outputs per second has increased. But for most Transcendent sequences, attack speed doesn't help much. After all, many Transcendents rely on Transcendent skills to fight. It is also a special method for various concealment, advance, control, weirdness, and mystery. Basically, only Transcendents who prefer long-distance continuous output can display the talent ability of attack speed. But for Zhou Yu, not bad. I am remote, accurate talent, with phase attack method. Let Zhou Yu's normal attack have the characteristic of almost guaranteeing a hit. Fast and continuous attacks. Zhou Yu's output ability can be maximized. Moreover, the ability to attack quickly allows Zhou Yu to quickly deal the damage of Ring of Death and Silence on the enemy. Second, if Zhou Yu can further master the 0 time lag talent, then Zhou Yu can complete certain moves to cause damage. In this way, even if Zhou Yu is controlled, he cannot perform attacking actions. However, it is still possible to use the Transcendent form to complete the attack. To put it simply, it is, I have been controlled, and I can also output. And this is the powerful feature of Transcendent form attack. Unless, Zhou Yu's steam spirit body and soul are all suppressed in all directions. Precise. Phase Practitioner. Ring of Death. And now this is available. Attack speed and 0 time difference. Properly made Zhou Yu a long-range Transcendent with long-range attacks. More importantly, Zhou Yu doesn't need to output under someone else's crotch to ensure own safety. The strong frankness gave Zhou Yu the capital to stand up. And that's why Zhou Yu chose the Transcendent sequence of Steam Knight. Alive. To have output. Died. No matter how high the attack method is, it will have 0 effect. It has been developed for several months, and now it finally feels like it is taking shape. Zhou Yu was thinking secretly. 80% attack speed. After 1,000 times, it will be 80,000% attack speed increase. Now I can perform 3 normal attacks in 1 second, and if I don't pay attention to strength, I can also do 5 attacks in 1 second. With an 80% attack speed boost, 4 stable attacks per second is not a big problem. If it is purely output action, without guaranteeing the power, 6 or even 7 times are fine. On this basis, increase by 1,000 times. 4,000 attacks a second. Zhou Yu knew without thinking that this was impossible. The reason is that his Transcendent physique and the carrying capacity of the Steam Spirit body sequence have limits. In other words, that is, the software configuration is high enough, and the hardware cannot keep up. If it is really 4,000 attacks per second, even the Qilin arm can't stand it. What kind of level can be reached? Well, You can only know by trying it. Furthermore, this attack zero time difference talent also requires painstaking practice in order to be able to master it in depth. I'll be off work later. Dream and try. It's a pity that the wilderness creatures within hundreds of kilometers around the city-state of St. Totem have been cleaned up by the city wall guards. Even the spirit world has been cleaned up by those spirit world practitioners. Otherwise, the actual operation will allow me to better understand the limit of my talent. However, it's pretty good to be able to experiment in a dream. Thankfully it's a dream. If this is put into reality, it's just my hand speed. Men see silence, women see tears. Take a nap and fall asleep for a while. Zhou Yu completed the results of his experiment on his current attack speed. As a result, it shook Zhou Yu for a whole year. Originally, this attack speed zero time difference was only applied to the attack speed. Forming a whole attack action will have the effect of attack speed blessing. And after a 1,000-fold increase in talent, Zhou Yu found that many of his non-attack actions, as long as they have high rhythm and repetitive characteristics, will trigger this zero time difference in attack speed. When you see your hand speed up and down 40 times a second, Zhou Yu felt that the system might be a bit dishonest. You speed up everything. Who can stand this? Unfortunately, the movement of running is not judged as attack speed characteristic. More properties tend to favor the movement of the hands. Moreover, the movement of 40 times a second is only the initial effect of blessing. If you practice it 50, 60, or even hundreds of times a second are all possible. And my hand speed is not only fast, but also full of endurance. In the experiment just now, the steam spirit body was used as the source of power to drive, and the attack movements were repeated for several minutes. My eyes were dazzled by the shaking, but my hands did not show any signs of fatigue. Although the dream is first a partial reflection. But because I have an aspect practitioner talent, the dream is basically the same as the reality. He raised his head and looked at the wall clock on Chang. It was nearly 5 o'clock. It's time to get off work. Let's go. The night shift has begun. Zhou Yu walked over and patted Lanfang. The captain told Zhou Yu and Lanfang to form a team to guard Randy Long Street and the residential areas on both sides. Although this task is not heavy, but Zhou Yu still has to earnestly perform his duties as a member of his own exorcist team. How's your hand speed? Walking in the corridor, Zhou Yu looked at Lanfang and asked abruptly. Hand speed? What do you mean? Lanfang looked at Zhou Yu warily. It means attack frequency, attack speed. If it's an extreme attack, if you don't pay attention to strength, it will be about 12 times a second. After pondering for a while, Yuan Feng said like this. If you pay attention to strength, about 9 times a second. The interspersed skill attack is the attack that combines transcendent skills, 7 times a second. Oh, it's really powerful. Zhou Yu nodded. Lanfang, AA talent, steam assassin. It belongs to the extremely high talent and is the object to be cultivated emphatically. Its assassin talent is extremely high, and it is said that it has already undergone the second awakening of talent. It is amazing to be able to reach this level without opening and hanging. Speed up the attack speed. Is there any trick? Lanfang was even more puzzled this time. You are a steam knight, why do you need such a fast attack speed? Melee combat generally doesn't require pure attack speed, so it doesn't have any practical significance. When fighting in close combat, pay more attention to the use of transcendent skills and the coordination of various abilities during the battle. Only those who are long-range transcendents need to use attack speed more. Zhou Yu thought for a few seconds. I have a transcendent skill that needs a faster attack speed to be more effective, so I want to speed up my attack speed. And the transcendent skill I learned before is to increase attack speed. Didn't you just keep staring at me? You should also feel that it is a talent that increases attack speed. Not only did I feel that it was a talent that increases attack speed, but I also saw you sneaking fish to sleep at work. Lanfang said that he marked Zhou Yu well. To each other, don't you always go to chat with Bebe secretly when you are at work? Oh, by the way, you also secretly helped Bebe type and enter documents. Tisk tisk. Is the cold assassin also secretly having an office romance? What do you know, that's called helping colleagues. Do you think that everyone is like you? When they are free, they just sleep there. Okay, don't bring the topic to the hospital. Is there a way to steadily increase the attack speed? For Zhou Yu's query, Lan Feng did not hide his secrets. Let's talk about your characteristic that requires attack speed transcendent talent. Let's talk about the characteristics of your attack speed just now, so I can do a detailed analysis. Zhou Yu told about the talent he owns in the Ring of Death and the attack speed talent he just learned. There is nothing to hide. By increasing the attack speed, the 5-ring effect can be played faster. That's a good idea, but the problem is, you have short hands, which is very troublesome. Lan Feng's analysis is still very accurate, but Zhou Yu can't tell him that my attack distance is 1,200 meters now, and the attack distance is still growing. And Lan Feng is not obsessed with Zhou Yu's short hands. If you want to simply increase the attack speed, then you need to do in-depth practice of the normal attack rhythm, so as to thoroughly grasp the transcendent form of zero-day attack. Let your attack speed become a transcendent attack. In this way, you will not be restricted by your arms and your épée, so as to achieve the effect of high-speed attack. And the damage is still high. The first step is to practice. Don't think about increasing the attack speed yet. The attacking action should be practiced so hard that it is completely engraved in the depths of your mind, and even engraved in the depths of your arm cells, forming a reflection of transcendent characteristics. Like this, said Lan Feng, stretched out his hand and grabbed it. A fly flying past the two of them was easily pinched. I don't even need to stare at the fly. As long as I have a thought, my arm will move by itself, thereby catch him. That's the transcendent reflex built into the arm. Wait until the transcendent feature is activated, and after mastering the zero-day difference, your attack speed will naturally increase significantly. Then it is to mobilize the power of the steam source to form repeated attack actions. Steam spirit body itself has a spirit body steam wheel that runs repeatedly. Combining the repeated operation characteristics of its steam spirit body with the attack transcendent characteristics, at that time, you will have the power to supply your attack speed alone. Lan Feng's narration completely opened up Zhou Yu's attacking thinking. It's a process that takes a long time and you need to practice hard to get it. After finishing speaking, Lan Feng shook his head. However, I am obviously not optimistic about your pursuit. Your pure pursuit of attack speed is too idealistic. I think it's more practical for you to practice more and practice your fighting skills. Too ideal, Zhao Haohao. Not necessarily. Zhou Yu smiled. Thank you for your idea. I'll invite you tonight. Whatever you want to eat, just order it. So generous. I've never been stingy. Then I won't be polite. Also, can I call Bei over? Don't go too far. Take the opportunity of me treating you to dinner to be courteous to others. Do you really think I'm being taken advantage of? Hey, you two are here. Just came to the first floor. The two people who came out of the stairs saw Bei coming out of the steam elevator. Bei greeted the two of them with a smile on his face. Bibi, there is a treat today, let's go together. Ah, is there a treat? Oh, is there a treat? This time it was the captain's voice when the elevator next door opened. The voice fell. Most of the members of Team 66 rushed out of the elevator. Look at the number of almost 10 people. The corner of Zhou Yu's mouth twitched. It seems that I have to spend money today. In the consecutive days after the Desire Mother Tree incident, a lot of people involved in the evil god organization of the Mother Tree of Desire, they were pulled out one after another. There are some ordinary middle class. There are titles of nobility, respectable nobility. And some are even official. Those who are involved with the Mother Tree of Desire. The official decision is only one, either death penalty or permanent imprisonment. In fact, this permanent imprisonment is only literal. Guy sentenced to permanent prison. It will be half a year or a year later, after the heat of the event has passed. Those who are involved in the relevant personnel will be dealt with secretly. In official terms, the official doesn't have so much free time to support them. Severe punishment with zero tolerance. It was prepared for these evil god organizations. And during the whole process, no one dared to disturb any force area of these personnel. Will be thoroughly investigated from start to finish. Whoever dares to stretch out his hand will peel off his skin if he doesn't die. This is the attitude of the Sun God Transcendent Empire towards the members of the evil god organization. In the process of checking and arresting, Zhou Yu participated twice. These 2 times, they basically went to gather the number of people. It was not until Zhou Yu made a move. Those members of the law enforcement department rushed up bravely like a god of war. Those who were arrested, once they do it, have always left no one alive. The whole process is more like a bloody suppression than a formal arrest. In fact, this kind of judgment that the death penalty is very accurate. Really did not commit a crime, after being caught, conduct a psychic investigation. After confirming that there is really no participation, it will be released. And once you do it, either there is something shady about him, or he is really involved with the evil god. If you are honest, it is just a crime. You can get out after a few years of imprisonment. And you dare to resist after committing a crime, is it just a display for you to be an official force? Zhou Yu followed suit and didn't take credit for it, which made Lanfang complain a lot. I can't even grasp the opportunity of whoring for nothing. It's not that Zhou Yu didn't want to make a move, but he couldn't. Just now Zhou Yu's terrifying strength. This shot directly blasted the enemy. That scene is probably even more difficult to deal with. After several days of bloody arrests, the atmosphere of the entire Saint Totem King city became much quieter. Zhou Yu learned about several underground black markets, some small casinos, and some gray industry places. Because of the influence of the incident of the evil god of the Mother Tree of Desire, they all closed quietly. They can't afford such a limelight. This made Zhou Yu sigh. Before, every night when passing by the small alleyway, the young ladies stood there, each more beautifully dressed than the other, and each more eye-catching than the other. And these 2 days, I can't see it. From the customs industry alone, it can be seen that the rectification effect of this action is still very good. All the evil god organizations died down. As a result, for several consecutive nights, the weather was calm, and even petty thefts were much less. Not even the job of catching thieves at night. Zhou Yu can only concentrate on own practice. Before I knew it, it took more than 10 days. During Zhou Yu's latent cultivation, it passed away quietly. Zhou Yu's own transcendent aptitude has gone through the last round of promotion from the Mother Tree of Desire. Reached the C-level intermediate level. The speed of cultivation is astonishingly fast. Plus Elena's steam inside the steam part. It has the original experience pool sent by the Mother Tree of Desire. This has allowed Zhou Yu's level, AFBD, to rise like a rocket these days. A level can be raised in 2 or 3 days. Lan Feng was envious of the speed at which the level was promoted. Lan Feng, who is level 59, is always stuck on this checkpoint, unable to break through to level 60. Follow Zhou Yu to increase the speed. In another 1 or 2 months, I am afraid that he will equal or even surpass Lan Feng. Except after the level is improved rapidly. With the help of Lan Feng, Zhou Yu's attack speed also improved amazingly. And many other transcendent skills are also advancing by leaps and bounds. On this day, as always, get off work. Lan Feng was on the right track, so he immediately followed. During this time, Lanfang directly regarded Zhou Yu as a meal ticket. In the name of a team member, I eat and drink spicy food with Zhou Yu. And Zhou Yu was also happy to see this scene. After all, Zhou Yu avoided many detours by asking Lan Feng for advice on attacking cultivation every day. From 40 attacks per second before, to now, 60 attacks per second. Zhou Yu is sure to make money without losing money. Into the night, the two are stationed at the clock tower of the tall building. Tick. The rhythmic pendulum accurately measures the passage of time. Zhou Yu looked at Lanfang, who was chatting with Bebe while holding the magic bracelet, and said, "I'll sleep for a while. Call me for something." "Understood. Go to sleep." Lanfang waved his hand. From the captain, I learned that Zhou Yu has the special ability of dreaming and practicing. I don't mind Zhou Yu sleeping on the night shift like this. Anyway, this guy sleeps fast and wakes up fast. Shouting to himself, Zhou Yu woke up immediately. Close your eyes and meditate. Zhou Yu activated own transcendent skill light sphere. Now, Zhou Yu's level has reached level 45. He has officially entered the intermediate transcendent level. And Zhou Yu's comprehensive strength growth is even more astonishing. Open black lens bracket wind shadow / close black lens bracket. Quality, C. Level 10. Open black lens bracket jump close black lens bracket. Quality, level Level 10. Open black lens bracket light feather blade close black lens bracket. Quality. Level. Level 10. Open black lens bracket immortal true shield close black lens bracket. Quality. Level. Level 10. Open black lens bracket sword of holy judgment close black lens bracket. Quality. S. Level. Level 10. 5 Transcendent skills, all level 10. Transcendent skill entry. 9th level is a huge threshold. And want to enter the 10th level. Then you need a solid background of transcendent characteristics as the foundation of your skills. Zhou Yu is a high talent, and it is easy to accumulate profound skills and transcendent characteristics. That's why Zhou Yu was able to upgrade his transcendent skill to level 10 so quickly. Transcendent skills after level 10 are already powerful enough for many transcendents under transcendent masters. Just a level 10 transcendent skill is enough for a lifetime. And want to go further on the basis of level 10 transcendent skills. Then you need to understand transcendent rules. However, the comprehension of the transcendent rules cannot be achieved overnight. Moreover, the comprehension of the transcendent rules also needs to be planned in conjunction with the core capabilities of the own sequence. Zhou Yu is still in a period of rapid development. It is too early to specify the future direction now. Even now, Zhou Yu can't figure out which specific aspects he is inclined to in terms of steam sequences. Weird, chaos, dark, bright, or is it in control? Or some elusive fate. No one will make a painter growth plan for a 3 or 4-year-old child just because he likes to draw. Zhou Yu is like this now. Zhou Yu, who still has a lot of room for growth, is not in a hurry to fix his future path. After I can fully adapt in many aspects, I will decide on my true path, Transcendent Master Road. Currently, the level 10 Transcendent skills can be said to have graduated. The water of Transcendent talent is also very deep, and the next step is to develop these Transcendent talent in depth. My combat form has taken shape, a tank knight with ultra-long range attack means. Long hands, frankness, and more weird attack forms. These aspects can develop a new version of the ship. Phase Practitioner talent, attack speed hyphenation .0 time lag talent, and dead silence ring talent, all of which can be developed in depth. Precise talent also has a lot of room for development. After all, precision features are not limited to attacks with regular features. In the screening of chaotic probability, there is the essence of precise transcendent characteristics. Who can be sure that I don't have a talent for the rules of chaos? Enter the dream first, kill a wave of nightmares, increase the frankness of the undying grip and the damage of the ring of death. Come out and carry out all kinds of talent cultivation. Use a large number of nightmares in the dream level of the Saint Totem King City to improve own frankness. This is Zhou Yu's daily practice. Except this. Zhou Yu will always be in reality. Come to comprehend and practice own many talent abilities. Dream, hunt and kill weak nightmares to grow their attributes. The whole process Zhou Yu has long been proficient and can no longer be proficient. There's a gushing feel to the source power of the recent steam sequence. I think it should be that my steam sequence has started to change to 4 stars. After all, Elena's steam parts have been almost digested by me. Zhou Yu was thinking about it. Suddenly, something is wrong. Dreams mirror reality. Reality also casts a shadow on dreams. Zhou Yu's dream is in the direction of the roof tower. The huge tower clock pendulum accurately measures the passage of time. The scale and size correspond to the time of Zhou Mengjing. The captain once told Zhou Yu cryptically. In the dream, anchoring the coordinates of the own position can effectively prevent oneself from slipping into a deeper dream. And at this time, the clock tower is ticking as always. Ticking. It's just that the dream clock tower at this time. Time is running backwards. My dreams have been invaded. Zhou Yu judged it instantly. Moreover, it was done in the process of finding me without anyone noticing. Sure enough, those members of the evil god organization, are they going to form a team to give away their heads? Immediately, Zhou Yu showed her white fangs. I can declare in advance that this time it is really you who made the first move. Cute baby. I'm going to sleep. Be careful when guarding at night. There are also 2 cute little icons on the back. Well, go to sleep. Lan Feng responded quickly. Satisfied, he turned off the magic projection screen on the Transcendent bracelet, and ended the chat with Bebe. He glanced at Zhou Yu, who was asleep. I know that a practicing single dog will not experience the feeling of falling in love. Afterwards, Lan Feng stood up and revived his body. Zhou Yu, it's time to get up and do some inspections. If the captain knows that you slept secretly during night inspections, it's time to deduct my full attendance bonus. Huh, why is there no movement? Zhou Yu. Lan Feng walked over and lowered his voice and shouted a few words. However, Zhou Yu didn't respond at all. Lan Feng quickly touched it. Plop. Zhou Yu's body hit the ground sideways. No way. Lan Feng was astonished. Damn it. I knew that staying up late at work was a risk of sudden death. He quickly tried Zhou Yu's breath. Fortunately, breathing is still there. Could it be that this kid is pretending to be asleep? It shouldn't be. Although this guy likes to be lazy sometimes, it's not so blatant. Zhou Yu, if you don't get up again, I'll be rude. Lan Feng shook Zhou Yu vigorously. With his hand speed of more than 10 times per second, Zhou Yu was shaking like a windmill. However, Zhou Yu remained silent. Broken. Lan Feng quickly opened the magic bracelet and sent a message to Captain Coward. Captain, something happened to Zhou Yu, he seems to have fallen asleep. Or, someone invaded his dreamland. He won't wake up. 10 minutes later, Coward, who had already fallen asleep, took up the position of the tower. He looked at Zhou Yu, who was lying on the ground, and Lan Feng, who was standing by. Coward quickly came to Zhou Yu to help him. After checking it out, Coward almost frowned. What's wrong, Captain? It's a bit tricky. His dream spirit body disappeared. The dream spirit body disappeared. How is this possible? That's why I say it's tricky. Take Zhou Yu back, I'll find someone right away. It is very likely that the top masters of the members of the Evil God organization made the move. In the past few days, I have received reports that a daughter of an evil god from the Mother Tree of Desire organization has come to our strange Totem King city. The daughter of the evil god. Lan Feng was taken aback. The offspring conceived by evil gods. That's no worse than those powerhouses of the high-dimensional Protoss. The existence of this level, no matter where it is, will set off a wave of death and loss of control. What's more, it's the Mother Tree of Desire, an ancient god full of primitive desires and twisted wills. If they want to attack Zhou Yu, wouldn't it be more convenient to attack directly? Lan Feng asked puzzledly. Hiss, this guy is really heavy. No wonder this guy has to eat twice as much food as me every time. Zhou Yu's Lan Feng didn't forget to make a complaint when he recited it. Ritual, Coward said while leading the way. Ceremony. Yes, many methods of the evil god are very strange. Especially the Mother Tree of Desire, which has the ability to cultivate, but at the same time it also has the ability to deprive. They should have investigated Zhou Yu's details, knowing that Zhou Yu has a super growth talent. And the strength shown by Zhou Yu is even more astonishing than the talent on paper. So they can guess that Zhou Yu's talent is obviously more than A level. I speculate that the daughter of the evil god must have used some method to extract Zhou Yu's dream spirit body, and then send it to some kind of ritual. Thereby stripping off Zhou Yu's transcendent talent for his own use. That means, they want to take back the gift from the Mother Tree of Desire, with interest. Lan Feng followed the captain closely and asked in astonishment. Probably that's what it means. After the inspection of Zhou Yu, the minister told me that on the surface, Zhou Yu was not polluted. However, in fact, he accepted the gift and secretly marked the price. Those gifts are not without price. The thread of fate has been quietly connected. After all, it is the power of the evil god, and it is far from being as simple as imagined. Right now, I'm afraid that the daughter of the evil god will replace the Mother Tree of Desire and take back everything that belongs to her. This is too evil. Lan Feng couldn't help but sigh with emotion. Otherwise, why do you think the sons and daughters of the evil gods are so powerful? Just being a high-level transcendent daughter of the Cthulhu is probably comparable to other transcendent masters. And to kill this kind of advanced transcendent daughter of the evil god, it is necessary to dispatch 3 transcendent master-level masters. Anyway, Zhou Yu is in trouble this time. Maybe. Having said that, Coward shook his head and didn't say any more. Zhou Yu, don't die, or I'll go there for dinner in the future. With Zhou Yu on his back, Lan Feng silently cheers for Zhou Yu. Tick-tock, tick-tock. The pendulum of the tower rhythmically measures the size and standard of time. Zhou Yu didn't care about the passage of time. In dreams, time doesn't have much meaning. If the other party is willing, pull yourself into a deeper dream. You can even trap yourself for 30 or 50 years. If the other party really did that, then Zhou Yu wanted to thank the other party instead. After all, Zhou Yu can also practice in the dreamland. Although the efficiency is not as good as the real world. But Zhou Yu has 1,000 times the talent blessing of the system. Even, Zhou Yu learned from Alec Mentor. In the Saint Totem King City, there is a dream training ground. There, the Transcendents who possess the dreaming talent entered the dreamland to practice. Through the investment of a large number of transcendent energy spars, the high-speed time flow of the dream can be maintained. That up to 10 times the passage of time. Let those geniuses practice faster in the dream than in reality. But Zhou Yu knew that the other party should not spend so long with him. After all, the longer the dream lasts, the more people will know about the abnormality of Zhou Yu's situation in reality. After waiting on the roof for a while, the other party never showed up. Even Duan Yi didn't use some special skills. Zhou Yu walked towards the gate of the bell tower. When Zhou Yu's hand was about to touch the gate of the clock tower, Zhou Yu's hand retracted extremely quickly. Something's wrong. Why do I have the idea of opening the door that doesn't belong to me at all? Zhou Yu felt it carefully. Fortunately, I have super soul resistance. Otherwise, I would have thought that I was going to open the door myself. Is someone trying to let me open the door? You want me to open the door? I don't. The rules of dreams are peculiar, but also follow some basic transcendent logic. Door often represents a way out, and freedom. As soon as the door opened, Zhou Mie woke up. More often, the door is a defense, a barrier. On the contrary, the own defense is turned on, which will allow enemies to flood in. Neither can open the door to explore casually, and it's not suitable for running around. Although Zhou Yu knew that he was pulled into the depths of a weird dream. But this tower is the only anchor point for Zhou Yu. Get out of here, and you lose your anchor. At that time, even if someone from the outside world wants to help him, he may not be able to respond immediately and escape. Feel the quiet and deep dream world. Zhou Yu's eyes narrowed slightly. I'd rather do nothing than make a mistake. This is indeed a wise saying. Yes, Zhou Yu lay flat on his back. Point 0. I'm not going anywhere. There is a kind, let's spend it so hard. Immediately, Zhou Yupin sat down. The mind is immersed in the own steam spirit body. Start to accelerate the refining of the steam spirit body fragments of the high-dimensional Protoss Elena. It has been more than a month before and after, and I am still enjoying the benefits of defeating Elena. Also, her lightsaber, her steam source armor. It will still help me for a long time in the future. The high-dimensional Protoss fell, and the steam knights were full. This is not false at all. I just don't know what's going on with the Corn City state. During Zhou Yu's practice, he was thinking about it. This time, Zhou Yu has been following the news from the city-state of Kern almost all the time. However, no, the entire Corn City state seems to have disappeared in place. No message came. Zhou Yu also went to the airship field to inquire about the news. On the other side of the airship field, the business relationship with the city-state of Kern was also interrupted. It seems, the Corn City state is all sealed. In this situation, Zhou Yu felt a little relieved. The blockade of the news meant that it was still under the control of the Sun God Transcendent Empire. On the contrary, if the news flies around, it is completely out of control. That is not good. Zhou Yu only needs to do his own things well in the Saint Totem King City. Just wait quietly for the good news from the Corn City state. The wriggling tentacles are filled with twisted, calamity, distortion, and medical breath. The whispering sound is like a hymn, singing over and over again. Even a high-rank transcendent, listening to this distorted praise from the mother tree of desire, would lose control on the spot. Root tentacles surged from all directions. Above the roots and tentacles, there are iron blue, desire spirit insects, that are as long and short as arms, thick and thin. The deepest place covered by root tentacles and desire spirit insects. It was a cage. Inside the cage, a figure was sitting there cross-legged, motionless. Prisoner in a cage. At this time, there was no panic. Instead, he practiced with peace of mind. Cage Dreamland. Once stuck, want to get out. The price is life. The roots and tentacles permeate the intertwined depths. The daughter of the evil god, Claire, in a long snow-white dress. He looked at Zhou Yu, who was trapped in the cage, with great interest. Open the door, and those desire mother insects can swarm in. Gnaw Zhou Yu's body, talent, and his transcendent spirit body. Then those desire mother worms will give these things to her. Then he will digest Zhou Yu's transcendent talent, transcendent spirit body. At that time, Zhou Yu will wake up. But it will also become a real, ordinary person. It is possible that for the rest of my life, I will need to lie in bed and need someone to take care of me. However, even with the bewitching guidance of fate, and at the moment of opening the door, Zhou Yu betrayed the trace of fate. He flinched, or rather he resisted. Does he have a talent of destiny? Whether there is a talent of destiny, I don't know, but his captain has arrived, and his companion is carrying his body to the Saint Totem King City. There are dream masters there. And Zhou Yu didn't leave his anchor point. If we can't extract what we need from his dream spirit before they arrive, then this plan, we will be considered a failure. 10. Aside, a mellow voice sounded. I see. Claire nodded slightly. He's an interesting guy, it's just a pity. The door is a barrier. If he doesn't open it, it might be difficult for us to get in. But he accepted the gift of the Mother God. Quote, we are invited. We are invited. We are invited. The overlapping sounds are like echoes. There were heavy explosions beside Zhou Yu's ears. Zhou Yu opened his eyes. The scene in front of him has completely changed. Twisted and wriggled tentacles overwhelming the sky. And on those wriggling roots and tentacles, huge worms wriggled their bodies one by one. Click, sound. A bug fell from the sky above the dreamland. Immediately afterwards, the sky began to rain of insects. A large number of cyan worms with short and thick arms. At the same time, on the walls around the tower, dense worms poured in one after another. Bang! The iron gate of the bell tower that Zhou Yu wanted to open but failed to open. It was also squeezed and collapsed by the wave-like zerg. Insects are like a tidal sea, covering the sky and covering the earth. The prisoner in the cage is about to be drowned. If it is other transcendents, encounter this prisoner's dilemma scenario. Most likely it had lost control long ago, fled around in a panic, and then was submerged. But for Zhou Yu, panic, take a hammer. Will you evil gods engage in these scalp-numbing bugs? If you really summon thousands of young ladies, I might try the feeling of being submerged. But these twisted and ugly bugs, forget it. When he saw the first batch of bugs were about to fall on Zhou Yu. Sunflame, accompanied by Zhou Yu's thoughts. The sun flame cloak is added instantly. Hush. Hot and oppressive black flames. Blooming. Hiss. Ren Chu. Hiss. The flame instantly ignited everything within a radius of 50 meters. With this one, Zhou Yu experienced the feeling of all insects singing together. The sound poured into Zhou Yu's brain cavity like a sharp knife from Zhou Yu's ear. However, no matter how these weird voices tore Zhou Yu's soul, Zhou Yu stands firm and fearless, like a rock in the waves. If I can move one step, I lose. Black flames from the depths of the earth. After this period of time, Zhou Yu continued to use them to absorb the transcendent characteristics of the flame system. Its power has been greatly improved compared to before. In the past, it was still difficult for Zhou Yu to raise the black flame in the center of the earth. But after Zhou Yu's transcendent qualification reached sea level, Zhou Yu can easily control the transcendent feature. At this time, it will be relatively simple to improve the transcendent characteristic of the black flame in the center of the earth. The power of the black flame in the center of the earth itself has been greatly improved. Accurate talent, 136 times the high damage, is also blessed in these flames. That leaves those swarming bugs, turned into moths that rushed to the flames one by one. No matter how many people come, they will give away their heads. Don't even mention it, the origin of these bugs is quite strong. More than 300 makes my physical body feel grown to the limit. You know, I've hunted more than 1,100 dream derivatives now, so that my physical body can feel like it has grown to its limit every day. The origin of these transcendent characteristics, very good. As expected of a worm that came from the mother tree of desire, it's great. Immediately, Zhou Yu manipulated Elena's steam parts attached to his steam spirit body. Start absorbing these sources in large quantities. As long as there are enough of these origins, it will be no problem at all to raise to 46th level, 47th level, or even 48th level. At the same time, the attribute improvement after killing can be perfectly blessed into my steam spirit body. After all, this kill can be regarded as the kill of the steam spirit. Zhou Yu's previous support from the Mother Tree of Desire has been exhausted. And this time, another person came to deliver experience packs. Scorching black flames filled the entire cage. Even, dot has begun to spread out of the cage. The daughter of the evil god, not only was she not surprised at this time. Instead, he carefully examined the scene in front of him. Some kind of powerful flame that can run through reality and dreams. It's the black flame in the center of the earth. A mellow voice sounded from the side. This itself is the flame of the deep realm of the plane, and it is born with the characteristic of burning in the deep realm. This kind of flame will not only burn the physical body, but also burn the sequence and ignite the spiritual body. It belongs to the kind of flame that cannot be easily touched. I didn't expect that this Zhou Yu could actually control this kind of flame. You know, even those transcendents of the flame sequence, they don't dare to play with this kind of flame lightly. If they are not careful, they will burn themselves. And Zhou Yu, he seems to be feeding this flame with himself. What surprised me even more is that the power of these black flames in the center of the earth is a bit outrageous. That mellow voice also contained a bit of surprise. The black flame itself is very broad. The corresponding power is relatively weak. But under the blessing of 136 times the damage. No matter how weak the damage is, it is so strong that it explodes. It seems that Zhou Yu has more methods than we imagined. Don't hesitate any longer. Get rid of him immediately. His companion, he is about to arrive at the mansion of the great Castellan. The mellow voice said quickly. Claire, the daughter of the evil god who heard this. The white palm stretched out leisurely. These worms of desire are just her most basic means. There are still many ways to deal with Zhou Yu. And at this moment, a voice that she couldn't explain what it meant suddenly rang in her ears. I found you. A little astonishment appeared on the cheek of Claire, the daughter of the evil god. The next moment, a sword glow so bright that she was a little startled carried a sharp wind shadow over her slender neck. Laugh. The corpse of the daughter of the evil god was separated from her body in an instant. Then it was ignited by black flames. If the cage has not been broken open, well, Zhou Yu may not be able to feel the situation outside. And when those weird bugs tore open the cage, Zhou Yu also felt the strange dream environment outside. Taking advantage of the trend, he also caught the man behind the scenes hiding in the shadow of the twisted roots and tentacles. The ignited corpse and body fell at the same time. Zhou Yu's sunfire cloak, start burning the surrounding roots and tentacles. And those roots and tentacles, as if they were afraid of the own flames, retreated and fled towards the surroundings one after another. Before, Zhou Yu used the steam spirit body and all the original flames to suppress and burn the roots and tentacles of the Mother Tree of Desire. But even so, the short root tentacle of the Mother Tree of Desire is still full of resistance. Compare these roots and tentacles who are afraid of their own sun-burning flames. Obviously, this man who secretly manipulates the roots and tentacles. It is not the body of the evil god of the Mother Tree of Desire, but someone else. Falling heads and corpses. It turned into fly ash in an instant. That is not the body. Zhou Yu was not surprised either. When that sword fell, Zhou Yu felt it, and the enemy fled. All that remains is a shell. It is strange that such a powerful and strange enemy was killed by him with a single sword. Using some kind of false target can avoid the attack of my precise characteristic. Zhou Yu quickly summed up this experience. A powerful and unpretentious attack cannot cover everything. Steady, tick, pendulum sound. Zhou Yu, bathed in flames, stands in the depths of the dream where roots and tentacles are intertwined. Take a moment of quiet contemplation. Zhou Yu strikes again. Zhou Yu's actions directly shocked the two people who were observing secretly. At this time, Zhou Yu suddenly practiced again. And the practice is the simplest and most unpretentious, attack form, movement. No way, here is someone else's deep dream. And it was a dream related to evil gods. Enemies just hide, then Zhou Yu would not be able to find them. I dare not run around. Anyway, standing here is doing nothing. It's better to practice own attack form. When the enemy makes a sneak attack or appears, he can attack at the first time. Zhou Yu's behavior of not playing cards according to the routine. A smile appeared on Claire's delicate face. They're all at war. This guy is still practicing. How much does he not put himself to put in one's eyes? Zhou Yu's sword. Very slow. This is the skill that Lan Feng gave to Zhou Yu. I want to have a hand speed that shocks everyone. So start by slowing down. In the slow attack form, grasp the rhythm of every nuance. Then master the most in-depth transcendent attack form. Only then can the upper limit of own hand speed be further improved. And the attack is not just blindly fast. Sometimes no matter how fast you are, if you can't hit those enemies, it's useless. Play slowly at first. Hide the fact that his hand speed is amazing. When it is determined that it can reach the enemy, it will explode instantly. It can completely catch the enemy by surprise. Yes. Zhou Yu has amazing candor. Does not mind the enemy's sneak attack. At this moment, Zhou Yu is really practicing sword. And kind of serious. If Zhou Yu's guess is right, the own anomaly should have been discovered by Lan Feng. Although Lan Feng likes to take advantage of small things, he is still very good at work, such as staring at himself. Maybe the captain is already here. Consume it. The advantage is mine. As expected, after half a minute, a large number of root tentacles, carrying Zhou Yu's flame, began to entwine towards Zhou Yu. The attack form practiced by Zhou Yu starts with a sword. The black sword shadow is like a thunder strike. Take off the sword and fly away. Reach the 10th level Wind Shadow Slash. The transcendent characteristic is vigorous and vigorous. A combination of the skill itself and the transcendent trait. And then let Zhou Yu himself really have a certain long-range attack distance. In the words of Zhou Yu own, that's called sword chi unsheathed. The distance is not too far, only about 15 meters. Enough to deal with these incoming tentacles. Pong! The roots and tentacles exploded, and the debris collapsed and flew. More tentacles kept coming up. The shadow of the sword is vivid. Constantly, the roots and tentacles exploded. In a moment, a slender palm slapped Zhou Yu's back. The strength is very dull. At the same time, in Zhou Yu's attack form, more than 5 attacks bloomed instantly. It's dazzling fast. Zhou Yu, who took the palm, was fine. But in the depths of the darkness, there was a dull sound of blows. Want to sneak up on me? Then let's see if my hand speed agrees. 1,000 times, attack speed, 0 time difference. It can make Zhou Yu attack at the same moment when the enemy comes. Perform a reverse attack. This is the case with the 0 time difference feature. Synchronous attack. There is no situation where I will shoot later than you. The depths where the roots and tentacles entwine. Claire's long dress has been shattered. On the body, there was a shocking wound. Under the wound, there is no flesh and blood. It has dense tentacles like capillaries. The tentacles quickly gathered and fused. Instant recovery from injury. This time, on Claire's face, there was no longer the calmness before, but a trace of caution. Dream world. This is his dominant area. But that Zhou Yu possessed a certain level of domain ability. It can also play a strong enough strength here. This actually made her lose the home court advantage. And several confrontations in succession. She didn't take advantage of it at all. Instead, she experienced the astonishing and frightening power of that Zhou Yu's attack. His attack speed is astonishingly fast, and at the same time, this power, strong and almost terrifying, possesses the power of a top high-level transcendent, even comparable to the low-level level of some low-level transcendent masters. A mellow voice sounded, and he's just a transcendent of level 40. It seems that the rumor that Zhou Yu captured a high-dimensional transcendent is probably true. His strength is not weaker than yours at all, and even, maybe stronger than you. It's not possible, it's definitely stronger than me. Claire's voice sounded softly. My palm contains the power of the Mother God. And he held it. Claire, who narrowed his eyes slightly, looked at Zhou Yu carefully, trying to find a flaw from him. In the dream world, he cannot use many methods. But he could also guess that Zhou Yu must also have more means that he couldn't use because of the dream. Although she borrowed the Mother God, Zhou Yu's dream spirit body was pulled into a deep dream cage. However, Zhou Yu's strength made him even in a cage. But it is as hard as a hedgehog covered with sharp needles, it is difficult to bite. Zhou Yu, who was imprisoned, was forcing her at this time and dared not show up. Is this really her home field? The Transcendent Master who guarded him couldn't make a move. Can't make a move either. After all, this is the Saint Totem King City. An area with high-ranking Transcendent Masters stationed. Once that Transcendent Master shot Zhou Yu in the real world, will definitely be watched. At that time, she and the Transcendent Master who guards her will probably have difficulty escaping. After all, Zhou Yu's previous performance has already been praised by the City Lord of the Saint Totem King City. Those Transcendent Masters, they would not have guessed this possible vengeance. Dealing with Zhou Yu is only secondary. The task this time is the main one. He looked at Zhou Yu who was still practicing his Transcendent attack as if nothing had happened. Think back to the astonishing attack power and attack speed just now. She tried her best to avoid those 5 attacks. But there were still 3 attacks hitting her. Even, she can feel it. In these 5 attacks, the 5th attack contained an almost destructive strike power. Fortunately, she avoided it. Otherwise, even she would be really hurt. In a moment, Claire frowned slightly. Let's go. This Zhou Yu cannot be dealt with by a dream cage. After completing this plan, I'll find him again. Then, he wouldn't be so lucky. The voice fell. Claire backed away quietly. The Transcendent Master who was watching stared at Zhou Yu for a moment, then turned and left. The roots and tentacles receded quietly, everything was like a phantom. The dream began to crumble. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Follow the anchor point. Zhou Yu opened his eyes. Then Zhou Yu felt that he was in a bumpy state. Ha, ha. Lan Feng, who was running wildly with his back on his back, was panting. It's time for you to exercise. With your physique, how dare you call you a steam assassin? Zhou Yu's voice sounded lazily. Lan Feng who was running wildly was startled and almost threw Zhou Yu down. Are you awake? Lan Feng exclaimed. I'm happy to see you reciting. Maybe I should sleep more. Asshole. You come down for me. Lan Feng threw Zhou Yu out fiercely. Putting one hand on the ground and turning over, Zhou Yu dexterously stood firm. At this time, Zhou Yu finally saw the scene in front of him clearly. Street, Totem King City, exit from the intersection of the long street where the City Lord's mansion is located. The light of the street lamp stretched the figure of a person who was wide open. Captain, Zhou Yu said. At this time, Captain Coward was also there. How are you? Coward looked at Zhou Yu, a little wary. I was pulled into a weird dream and was trapped there. Then, Zhou Yu told the truth about his strange experience in the dream. Originally, I have already made a plan to fight that evil guy until dawn. Unfortunately, she carried it away in the end. As Zhou Yu finished speaking, Coward's expression became more serious. The wriggling root tentacle, the blue worm with long and short arms, that should be the spirit worm. A companion spirit insect that can devour talent and absorb the source of life. As expected. The daughter of the evil god, Claire. Coward's tone was very dull. The daughter of the evil god, Claire. Zhou Yu seemed to have seen this name in the newspaper. The sun god Jiaofan Empire is in a state of war in 320. The raging of evil gods is more serious. Therefore, it is not unusual for some sons and daughters of evil gods to be born. His eyes swept over Zhou Yu. You haven't been swallowed by those spirit insects. Coward's expression became more serious. Zhou Yu thought for a while and replied, those weird insects didn't touch me, but I killed many spirit insects and harvested a lot of essence. Coward's mouth twitched. This guy is the fleece of the evil god, is his head exposed? Dare to absorb anything. He didn't dare to absorb Zhou Yu directly. However, it is still possible to borrow the steam parts of the high-dimensional Protoss the original experience reserve pool, and indirect absorption. Anyway, it's good that you can compete against the daughter of the evil god and not lose in the dream world. However, the inspections that should be done, not only have to be done again this time, but also go deeper. In addition, starting tomorrow, I will set aside an hour every day to go to the Church of the Sun God and pray for an hour. With the care of the Sun Goddess, it can effectively help you expel the peeping and influence of evil gods. Yeah, Zhou Yu nodded. In addition, I have already notified the Transcendent Research Institute of Saint Totem King City about your matter. It's even possible that Master Transcendent has noticed us. Let's hurry over there. As he said that, Coward took the lead in walking towards the City Lord's mansion. The Transcendent Institute is also nearby. During the conversation of the three, they didn't notice, in the glow beneath the street lamp beside them, a figure of a clergyman wearing a golden priest's robe from the Church of the Sun God stood there all the time. Dream confrontation, daughter of the evil god. It's still in the upper hand. Is it really the light of the Lord that has begun to shine on this barren and pious land of my holy totem? What does the daughter of the evil god look like? Follow the captain forward. Lan Feng tugged at Zhou Yu's sleeve and asked in a low voice. This guy is curious. Zhou Yu thought about it seriously. Then shook his head. Sorry, I didn't see it, I don't know. It's just a one-click 3-link. I didn't see it. Then how did you fight her? I don't dare to make up stories like you do. Lan Feng still doesn't believe that Zhou Yu can fight against the daughter of the evil god. Originally, I had planned to fight that guy until dawn. Who would have expected that the daughter of the evil god would not dare to come out after being beaten by me? She has been hiding in the dark. I really didn't see what she looks like. However, she should be wearing a snow-white dress, the kind of low-cut dress you peek at every day when you pass by the glass closet when you get off work. Lan Feng, I think it's more likely that you were beaten like a mouse. Lan Feng, who was caught by Zhou Yu, speculated maliciously. Besides, I was going to choose a suitable outfit for Bebe, not peeping. That evil god's daughter, Claire, was originally a genius of our Sun God Empire. Captain Coward, who heard the two quarreling, said abruptly. The two looked over at the same time. In the far lands to the north, there are many idle villages and towns. Before, the Sun God Empire still had sufficient control over there. But as the battle became more and more intense, the power to control it has become much weaker. In addition, in the past few decades, the rapid development of steam engines, airships, and transcendent technology of the Demon Tower. Driven by the general environment of the times, the business there has also prospered. Prosperous business environment, extensive control, which makes it a hotbed for the spread of evil spirits. Claire, that's where the top genius of the SS talent was awakened. However, when the Sun God Empire dispatched an airship to pick up Coral, the Mother Goddess Tree of Desire has already arrived first. Although it's a pity, the Sun God Empire didn't pay too much attention at the beginning. Until a few years ago, Claire went to the village where he was born. The sacrificial ceremony was held. The people in the whole village have all become sacrifices for her growth ceremony. And that's when we got the news that Claire was chosen by the Mother Tree of Desire and became the daughter of the evil god. At the beginning, she was only an SS-level talent. But with the cultivation of the Goddess of Desire tree, now she should be an S-level talent. And it's a high-level transcendent above level 70. And this SSS-level genius above 70, the daughter of the evil god who possesses many strange means. Quote, being beaten by you, an A-level genius of more than 40 levels, in her home court, I dare not come out. Coward said so. Lan Feng on the side also heard something different. Grade A versus SSS grade. More than 40 levels, against 70 levels. And it's still at the opponent's home court. Zhou Yu actually played an advantage, even a big advantage. If not kidding, that Zhou Yu. Lan Feng didn't dare to think too much. Although Lan Feng had already guessed it, he just didn't want to admit it. After all, the guy who can single-handedly enter the lair of the evil god's stronghold and get back unharmed. How could it be just an A grade? Otherwise, he is an AA-level talent. Wouldn't that be able to kill the two evil god strongholds? Are you at the SSS level? Lan Feng couldn't help asking in a low voice. If I said yes, wouldn't you be proud to be a colleague with an SSS genius? Zhou Yu laughed. How is that possible? Then it's over. Zhou Yu spread his hands. Actually, Zhou Yu lowered his voice. Lan Feng immediately listened curiously. I'm just a C-level talent. What the hell are you? I'm telling the truth, if you don't believe it yourself, forget it. Okay, we're here. Coward's voice sounded, interrupting the nonsense of the two. Transcendent Academy of Sciences in St. Totem King City in the middle of the night. At this time more than 20 researchers are waiting here. And with the arrival of the little white mouse Zhou Yu, they got to work. After more than 2 hours, Lan Feng, who was outside the glass in the isolation room, looked at Zhou Yu, who was bound by 5 flowers, with a smile on his face. If it is not here, it is not allowed to take pictures of the magic bracelet. He even wanted to film this scene as a souvenir. It was already 4 o'clock in the middle of the night. Minister Tina chatted with the several directors of the research institute. He also came outside Zhou Yu's isolation observation room. Minister Tina. Both of them bowed to Tina one after another. There is nothing serious about Zhou Yu right now. It's just, he has been targeted by the daughter of the evil god. I'm afraid something similar will happen in the future. Fortunately, the daughter of the evil god and the master Transcendent behind him had some scruples this time, so they didn't directly attack. Otherwise, Minister Tina glanced at Lanfang. Your captain has been there today, I'm afraid they will collect your corpses. Due to Zhou Yu's special situation, he can no longer stay in your team. Otherwise, your team will be reduced sooner or later. Coward didn't say much, apparently acquiesced to Minister Tina. This time, Zhou Yu and Lan Feng, these two people are really big. When I came here before, on the road, I met Lord Bishop, Luard. He should have met Zhou Yu before. He told me that the radiance of the goddess has been reflected in Zhou Yu. The glory of the goddess. For a moment, Coward and Lanfang both looked solemn. There was a little bit of astonishment in the solemn expression, which looked a little funny. How can this be? Lan Feng took the lead and couldn't help but exclaimed. Immediately, he looked at Zhou Li, who was lying in the isolation room and tied up. Guys who eat, drink and have fun every day, sneak out in those gray areas, go to work sneaking fish to sleep, and even work the night shift and almost die suddenly. How could there be the glory of a goddess on her body? Even Zhou Yu, this fellow, has never been to church to pray even once. Could it be that the bishop is too old and his eyes are a little blurry? Lan Feng naturally did not dare to say these words. If so, then tomorrow he will go to work in the cell, and it will be indefinitely. Luard Street, Totem King City Sun God Church, Branch Church, the Master Bishop, who holds the supreme priesthood. Being able to listen to the teachings of the goddess, convey the will of the sun goddess, and spread the sun's brilliance. If something big happens in the Saint Totem King City, if the city lord needs to find someone to discuss, then the first step is to consult the will of the goddess first, and discuss it with Bishop Luard. Saint Totem King City, what is the totem symbol? That is a sacred sun totem that praises the sun. Supreme of the gods. For the gods, everyone needs to be in awe. And Bishop Luard is the representative of the sun goddess walking in the world. Disrespect to Bishop Luard is disrespect to the sun goddess. Even so, it's kind of like a magic stick. But it is what it is. The reason why the Transcendent Empire, the sun god, was able to resist attacks from foreign invaders for several hundred years. The radiance of the sun goddess shines. Play a decisive role. If one day, the brilliance of Yin-Yang goddess dissipates from the vast sea plain, Hanhaigia will usher in the end of death. And at this time, such a being who wields the authority of sacred. It actually said that Zhou Yu's body has the radiance of the sun. That is definitely not nonsense, but really there is. With the protection of the sun goddess, I think Zhou Yu should be safe for a long time to come. Coward thought for a while and said. To be honest, Coward couldn't imagine Zhou Yu meeting the saints, he couldn't even dream of what kind of scene it would be. Yeah, good. Tina nodded. I will arrange for Zhou Yu to go to the Sun Temple Church for prayer work next. If the will of the goddess really descends, then, there will be real saints born in our Saint Totem King City. Saint Lan Feng, whose heart was shaking violently, opened his mouth wide, but he couldn't say what he wanted to say. Every year, the Temple of the Sun has recruited so many geniuses to be cultivated. On the one hand, I want these geniuses to have stronger strength. On the other hand, it is hoped that among these geniuses, a true saint can be born. Except, however, more than 30 years ago, a saint appeared. With his own power, Han Haijia's defeat was reversed. After this point, there are no more saints. There were a few sons of the Holy Spirit born in the sun's radiance. But this son of the Holy Spirit, although it is also called a saint child, but everyone knows that it is a false saint. That is nothing more than the existence of absorbing the radiance of the goddess every day under the radiance of the goddess. Is passive, and the real saints The sun's rays will radiate from the inside out. That is the real Saint. And Zhou, will it really be? Saint Totem King City, this year's winter. Earlier than usual. 3 days ago, it was still a refreshing autumn day. And today, 3 days later, the temperature plummeted. The believers of the Temple of the Sun on the square were talking, and the fog in their mouths was clearly visible in the morning light. Clang clang clang. Bells are ringing. Zhou spilled all the corn kernels in his hand onto the ground. Immediately, a large group of sun pigeons fluttered over, pecking at the food on the ground. Zhou stood up and moved his body a little. Minister Tina, wearing a black formal gown and a slanted hood, looks more like a devout believer who comes to pray, rather than a brave female god of war who is fighting on the front line. Zhou, on the other hand, was wearing a brown and black suit. A white shirt, a checkered tie, and a pair of hard-soled leather shoes that fit the soles of the feet very well. Even at the request of Minister Tina. There is also a sun brooch hanging on Zhou's chest. This is the mark of the most devout Christians. This outfit. It was Ms. Leia who was the crazy Pua Zhou before, and picked it for Zhou. Although it is said that Ms. Leia is now sentenced to 25 years in prison, and deprived of a series of human rights such as the right to belief, political rights, freedom, and racial rights. But this does not negate Ms. Leia's views on fashion and art. If others knew that this set of outfits was selected by the members of the Evil God organization for Zhou, and then they came to participate in the prayer activities for the goddess on the prayer day, that is likely to provoke the hatred of those fanatical believers. This is a great blasphemy against the goddess. However, Zhou has a better outfit in this one. Besides, the most important point is, 3 days ago, in the observation room, Zhou heard the conversation between Minister Tina and Duo Zan. Perhaps, they leaked it to Zhou on purpose. Saint. Believe it or not. Anyway, I don't believe it. 740. Zhou didn't believe that he was a believer at all. And also not interested in this prayer at all. Compare that to 2 or 3 hours of prayer time. Wouldn't it be more fragrant to sleep and practice in the office? And, this morning, after 5 o'clock, Zhou was pulled up by Minister Tina. A disturbing lucid dream of a big intrusion. The grievance in Zhou's heart is not to mention how big it is. The spacious and bright church is solemn and solemn. Nearly 1,000 believers. Stick your hands to your chest. I prayed silently. After coming out of the Transcendent Institute, Minister Tina gave Zhou a Sun Bible and told Zhou to read more often. Zhou promised, I will. And actually, progress, 0%. When being prayed for, Zhou silently felt the fruits of his cultivation during this period of time. Taking advantage of the trend, throw ghost flame grass into the furnace of the steam spirit body. Those corpses had been cleaned up by Zhou long ago. The ghost flame grass was also burnt, leaving only 2 small haystacks. As the level increases, Zhou's steam furnace burns faster and faster. My transcendent level has reached 4007th level. After these ghost flame grasses are burned, they can almost reach 48th level. In the future, you won't be able to speed up your practice, you can only practice at a normal speed. It's not bad to improve the first level for a week. Even so, the speed at which this level increases is quite astonishing. The all-level Lanfang has been practicing for 4 or 5 years, but he is only 59th level already. Many transcendent skills have reached level 10. As for the power, needless to say, the 10th level Cage Slash is enough to threaten the daughter of the evil god. It can be seen how powerful this power is. As for other more powerful transcendent skills, there is no need to say more. Elena's steam spirit body is almost finished digesting. The territory of the 3-star steam has reached the ceiling, and the breakthrough to the 4-star steam spirit body has only happened in the past few days. Wait until the breakthrough is 4-star, those few parts will not be digested, and I can convert them into an experience reserve pool. It is equivalent to a filter, which can filter some transcendent origins that are not so pure, or some transcendent origins that are relatively dangerous. Wait until the steam spirit body is promoted to 4 stars. I can use the treasures that Alec Mentor gave me to improve my transcendent qualification to upgrade my transcendent qualification to B level. With the B level qualification, the talent will be further strengthened. However, after the B level qualification, you must first upgrade to the A level, which is very, very difficult. From the attitudes of the major city-states towards A-level talent members and B-level talent members. B-level talent members, more than a dozen people share a mentor. As for A-level talent members, they will specially arrange tutors. As for the AA level, it is even more powerful. It is possible to enter the Temple of the Sun and be trained as a plane-level genius. Prayer time. Zhou Yu was silently submerged in the steam spirit body. Accelerated absorption of those parts. When Zhou Yu was praying in the morning light, two Taoist shadows stand in it. The positions where the eyes of the two fell were on Zhou Yu's body. Maybe he's not pious enough, but he's starry enough. Moreover, he has no distractions, always pursuing the truth that belongs to him. Not believers, better believers. More importantly, I can feel that he doesn't have the light of a goddess in his heart, but own light. Moreover, he and the great goddess stand firmly with us. If possible, I can feel that he would even sacrifice himself to protect everything we protect. I thought, that's enough. Luard explained all this calmly. And Ms. Garina, standing quietly by the side, watching quietly and feeling all this. Suddenly, she explained quietly. The high-dimensional Protoss, named Elena, has been sent to the top research institute in the Empire. Value. Huge. Galina did not elaborate, but Luard clearly deduced from Ms. Gulliner's mouth that the value is huge. Such words, a 5 vocabulary. That full weight. And Elena was captured by Zhou Yu. For this reason, Alec and the City Lord's Corn, in order to protect the city-state, resist foreign enemies. Having said that, Guling Na paused. City Lord Keen lost control and was suppressed. I don't know if the glory of the goddess can guide him back. And Alec is currently in a deep sleep, and I don't know when he will wake up. Nearly 1/3 of the residents of the Corn City-State died in this war. The higher authorities have been blocking information in this regard. I just don't want to cause too much disturbance and unnecessary confusion. More importantly, when Alec and Santo Corn reported these things before, Zhou Yu was already paid attention to by the higher authorities. I even have some plans. After all, Zhou Yu's dedication is enough for the Sun Goddess to pay attention to him. He is really strong, ridiculously strong. If it is said that he is the God Guardian of the high-dimensional Protoss, I will believe it. And he is just an ordinary resident from a remote city. Since the light has emerged from his body, then, he deserves what he has paid for. Your report a few days ago combined Zhou Yu's performance before and after this and his strength. Already agreed. The saint's crown, he bears its weight. I will pray to the goddess, the glory of the goddess will shine on him. If a miracle happens, then he is truly a saint. Clang, clang, clang. The melodious bell sounded from afar. It is our glory to bathe in your brilliance. The church responsible for prayer deacon, pious praise. In the church, everyone got up one after another. Bath in your radiance, make our glory. After the prayers are over, it's the donation part. More or less, all express own mind and belief. And Zhou Yu, led by Minister Tina, walked along the outside to the position of the main box. Many people are lining up for the 3 donation boxes below. However, there are very few people in the location of the main donation box here. More strictly speaking, only myself and Minister Tina herself. Is there a special channel for donations? This is too good. While Zhou Yu was thinking about how much to donate. You must be unprepared. Minister Tina's voice sounded quietly. How could that be? Saying that, Zhou Yu touched a thick stack of banknotes with a denomination of 20 Transcendent coins from the Transcendent bracelet. This stack is about 2,000 Transcendent coins. Then Zhou Yu drew one out of them. This is my weekly salary. If it wasn't for my extra income, I can't even afford to donate. When Zhou Yu stuffed this 20 Transcendent banknote into the donation box. Buzz. The scorching and holy light suddenly lit up. Like a huge spotlight, it illuminates the inside and outside of Zhou Yu. What's the situation? Zhou Yu just wanted to move away. If you don't want to stay in a cell for the rest of your life, then don't move. Minister Tina's powerful and threatening words rang in Zhou Yu's ears. Zhou Yu standing in the original. Feel the thick and almost substantive light of the scenery. At a loss. What is this? I just donated money and did nothing. What are you going to do to me? Where did such a big spotlight come from? I always feel like they're hiding something from me. This light is so rich. Like the sun coming down. The scattered peripheral vision pierced everyone's eyes. Not to mention looking directly at the light. Feeling that golden yellow, just like the scorching holy light of substance. All the believers in the church trembled and prostrated themselves on the ground. Cheers and joy from the heart, tears could not help but fill the cheeks. The great sun goddess finally took care of them. This light is so rich, so wide that the church cannot accommodate it. The golden beams of light flowed along the window and penetrated out of the window. Even the bright sun, also under this rich golden light, it was overshadowed. The church is like the temple of the kingdom of God. This day, miracles of the sun goddess. In the Saint Totem King City. Advent, Evil God Matters Processing Office. 6th floor. Hey, Joe Yu doesn't come to work, no one is watching, it's really boring. Leaning on the seat, Lan Feng staring at the ceiling was a little dazed. I haven't been with Joe Yu for a long time. But that guy can always come up with something new. Just when the two of them were on the night shift, they were in the process of catching thieves. That guy can tell the funny jokes of, everyone is talented in it, and it's like coming home after entering the cell, I like it so much. He wanted to experience it so much. Suddenly. Lan Feng almost catapulted, and flew to the window. He tried his best to widen his eyes, looking at the distant scene. Not only him. The entirety of Office 66. Or even an entire office building. Almost all the Transcendents rushed to the windows. Looking at the location of the Cathedral of Saint Totem Sun God Church in the distance. A golden light that is brighter than the sun. It fell from the sky. An indescribably magnificent golden beam of light. That's miraculous. The entire huge city-state of Saint Totem King City. On the street, a large number of steam cars stopped one after another. A large number of pedestrians stood on both sides of the street. Some devout believers even knelt down in the street. He praised the great sun goddess over and over again. In residential areas, crying babies. It also quieted down on this one. Almost all residents. They all looked in the same direction almost at the same time. Street, Totem King City, Cathedral. The thick and substantial rays of light form a substantial golden beam of light. Piercing through the clouds, it was mighty and mighty, covering the entire huge church. The golden brilliance above the clouds spreads out. The entire city-state was covered with a thick layer of golden light. The same idea emerged in everyone's mind. Miracles of the great sun goddess. In the holy totem city-state favored by her. Arrived. Even if it is stationed on the edge of the boundary barrier. An army of 1 million transcendents. At this moment, they also looked at the location of the Saint Totem King City Cathedral. God's glory. At this moment, through the barrier restrictions. The same shines on their cheeks. After a long time. The brilliance of the miracle dissipated. But the golden aftertaste is rippling in everyone's heart. Inside the front camp, Ian, who is in the office and dealing with personal matters, is still a little confused about the situation in front of him. What is that? That's a miracle. Diana, who was assigned to the office's clerical work, obviously knew what it was better than Ian, who was keen on fighting. A miracle. What will happen? I don't know, but our sun god Transcendent Empire hasn't had a miracle for 18 years. The last time a miracle happened, it was the recovery of the remains of the ruler in the Transcendent Empire, which caused the miracle of the sun goddess to descend. And the last time, it was more than 30 years ago, the saint who gave birth to the sun goddess. Saint. Immediately, Ian shook his head and looked away. That's too far away from us. It's just about the battlefield, which makes me a little bit battered. There are more and more deformed beetles crawling out of the cracks during this time. Your level is still relatively low now. It is a bit difficult to clean up those aberrant beetles. It will be fine when your level is higher. Yeah, Ian nodded. By the way, Joe Yu, haven't you been in touch yet? Ian asked immediately. The military headquarters is almost cut off from the outside world. Even the communication of the magic bracelet is through the local area network, so it cannot go outside. Even if it is a rest, it is not allowed to go out. Joe Yu is assigned to Daying, so he will definitely be able to contact him. If he is assigned to the headquarters of Wangcheng, it will be a little troublesome. Is there any news from you? Diana asked immediately. No, But 2 days ago, I had already contacted some seniors who could enter and leave the Morobe camp and King City's Keen City. If there is news, he will definitely notify me. Yeah, Diana nodded slightly. Also, Corn City State, do you have any news? No, Ian shook his head. There, is still in lockdown. Before that, a large number of people were dispatched to the Saint Totem King City suddenly. It's only after starting that they haven't realized what to post. Wait until you come to Shungtatem King City. Only then did they realize that major events were likely to happen in the Corn City State. As expected, to this day, the Corn City State is completely under an absolute information blockade. Ian, who was stunned for a while, said, "A miracle will happen, and there will definitely be a big event. I think it won't be long before we can learn about the Corn City State and find Zhou Yu." Yeah, Diana nodded quietly, looking past the golden miracle aftertaste, thoughtfully. Street, Totem King City Cathedral. Wait until the light dissipates. Thousands of pairs of burning eyes came into view. These people seemed to want to observe every detail of Zhou Yu's body extremely carefully, for fear of missing any detail. Look, that's the saint's crown. A saint has come. Saint of the Sun Goddess. Arrived. Praise the goddess. Great saint, please accept the faith of your most devout believer. For a moment, the whole hall was immersed in fanatical worship and praise. Even the group of believers at the front, if it wasn't blocked by the church members in front. They were afraid that they were about to rush up and have a close contact with Zhou Yu. Zhou Yu didn't feel it before. That's what they said. Only then did Zhou Yu suddenly realize that he was really wearing something on his head. Touch it with your hand. Warm and firm. Immediately, Zhou Yu took the thing off directly. Upon seeing Zhou Yu felt a little familiar. Because Zhou Yu had seen it before. Right on the books in the textbook. Here it is, a saint's crown. A sacred object that can only be obtained by the official certification of the Sun Goddess. After the last saint death. The saint's crown. It is still displayed in the Transcendent Empire Museum, the Sun God, for future generations to observe. Tina at the side saw Zhou Yu actually took off the saint's crown bestowed by the Sun Goddess, and held it in her hand to observe carefully. He wished he could rush forward and kick Zhou Yu away. Others are watching you, but you actually took off the crown, and you are still staring at the crown in a daze as if you have never seen the world. If you want to see it, you go back at night and lock yourself in the house to see enough. What do you do when you take it off? Fortunately, at this time, everyone was in surprise and frenzy. Nobody cares what's wrong with the saints watching own crowns. Saints themselves are all reasonable existences. Just when I was wondering whether to wear it or not. Church side, a large number of people showed up. The leader is His Excellency, Luard, the Bishop of the Saint Totem King City Cathedral. There were also 3 vicar bishops whose names Zhou Yu could not give. Behind them, there are a large number of senior priests. The configuration is so complete, I'm afraid it has been prepared long ago. Zhou Yu heard Minister Tina talk about saints a few days ago. It's only been a few days, and I've made arrangements for myself. Luard, who came to Zhou Yu, took the saint's crown. Put it on Zhou Yu carefully. It seemed to be a little crooked, but I straightened it up. Then, for many fanatical believers, Luard spoke solemnly. The voice is majestic and powerful, and in every character, there is the commandment of sacred. The great Sun Goddess shines. Saints are born in light. During the 1300 years. Today, the Sun Goddess bestowed the Church of the Sun God, the 7th saint is born. Let us be grateful for the gift of the Sun Goddess. Let us awe the saints of the sun who walk in the world. For a time, all believers stuck their hands to their hearts. Chant in unison, it is our glory to bathe in your brilliance. We will follow the footsteps of the saints and walk towards the light. We will reach the other side of the kingdom of God. Everyone is chanting, except Zhou Yu. Are you a believer in the Sun Goddess? Zhou Yu knows better than anyone else. Today is Zhou Yu's first time walking into the Goddess Church. Everyone is ready for the whole process. It's just that I don't know. Am I counting them, the saints made by hand? Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.